That is the low frequency component of thunder. By the time it gets close to you, you are hearing more of a crack, and rumble doesn't seem quite as pronounced having the audible sound. When there is a large amount of coal in a resource, World Health Organization identified that as being a situation that warranted a concern. And for that situation, with the dBA that they recommend, they need to be lower. The other thing they point out is that when there is low frequency noise source, the deep criteria are broken. And that we need criteria that are waiting. That's a technical setting. It fits the setting on the instrument. The A weighting setting ignores low frequency sound, and the C weighting setting low frequency sound. So, next slide. One of the positions wind companies or wind factories is that wind turbines not produce low frequencies. And actually, the way they phrase it is they say significant low frequency sound. This chart shows an analysis of 7 modern industrial wind turbines. All of them have condensed into this bracket. And as we can see between the upper and bottom, there is a lot of difference between the wind turbines on the market today. Once we account, for instance, power and wind speed. And the one thing that's very obvious in this graph by the fact that it's higher on the left-hand side than the right-hand side is that it's dominated by low frequency. The careful parsing of the wind company that there's no significant sound or no significant frequency is based upon an assumption that is over 40 years old, which is that cannot hear a sound at her field. What we now know is that the sound levels that show on this graph from wind turbines are causing adverse health effects. And I'll leave it to Carmen Rhodes to explain to you all of those different effects. But I want you to remember that when a wind company says that wind turbines do not produce low frequency sounds, that is a public relations statement, not a technically correct statement. Well, wind turbines, by their very nature, are low frequency. Next slide.
Rick, there's a very peculiar and somewhat annoying sound effect that's going on that you probably wouldn't like. Your voice is going in and out, so I don't know if there's anything you can do on your end, but it's a little hard to hear. Just thought I'd let you know that.
Try speaking slow.
Yeah. I don't know if it's not the speed of your speaking. No, it's something to do with the connection, I guess. Somebody's asked me, can you repeat when a wind company says that...
When a wind company says that wind turbines do not produce significant low-frequency sound, that's a PR statement. That's not an acoustically correct statement. And it's based upon their belief that if you cannot hear these low frequencies, there's not enough energy there to cause you harm. Well, what we now know, and Carmen Crow will explain it in more detail, is that long-term exposure to low-frequency sounds can cause pathological change. And the particular repetitive, what in acoustics is called amplitude modulation of the sounds, can a certain subset of people cause vestibular imbalances, making them feel either nauseated, headaches, disoriented, and in many cases affecting mood and other factors. Okay. These aren't just actions determined because like these physiological changes in the human body.
Thank you. That was actually a lot better, so I don't know if you did anything on your end. But hope it continues to improve. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm on slide 14 now. In order to really understand how those low frequencies can affect you, it's more of an indoor problem than an outdoor problem. Outside, we have all of the other noises that are more audible. But when you're in a house where the house blocks the outdoor places, the low frequency sound come right through the walls with very little attenuation. This graph shows on the French line how much of the sound from a single turbine at 1,000 feet penetrates the wall of a home. The green line shows the limits for what a person can hear. So anytime the orange line is above the green line, the sounds in the home are audible. And again, during the nighttime, this would be the kind of sound that will interfere with sleep. Next slide.
Well, our PowerPoint just quit, so we're not going to wait just a moment.
That's good. It probably didn't what to do with the next slide.
Okay, ready.
Okay, you have full FPL story company wind.
Yep.
I've looked at wind projects from as far away as the northwest corner of Iowa, all the way across to the east coast. And I've seen some very poorly designed wind projects, and I've seen some that are fairly good. This particular shot shows what I think is a well-done wind project. And what I hope you can see is that there are no homes near the turbines. In Iowa, there's enough space. You can put the turbines out, keep them at least a half mile, and in many cases much farther away from homes. And because the farms are very rich, the only people who are exposed are people who are leasing land winter. The people who are exposed to the levels, the people who live closest to the wind turbines, are typically the farmer who is leasing the land. And therefore, this is their choice. When looking at even wind turbines in that area, however, go to the next slide. We can see, and again, this is a test that was taken just about where the car was located, or where that shot was taken, about 2,000 feet from the wind turbines. We can see that you have on the graph the same slope. It starts high on the left side and drops down on the right side. Most of the energy is low frequency. And in this particular case, I plotted against the state of Illinois noise limits, and the red line, the red dashed line, represents what the state of Illinois thinks should be the highest level of the suburban community. And so we are looking at sound levels in a rural community of decibels higher than what would be considered acceptable in a suburban community, say around the city of Chicago. Next slide. Here's another one. This again is in Iowa, but unfortunately, when they ran the string of curtains through the community, it ended up near 4 or 5 farmers not participating. The particular test site here is for a farmer who had one turbine about 2,000 feet from his home, and 3 other turbines 2,000 to 3,000.